There are exactly 50 paintings in Minecraft, 46 of which you can create right now on Survival. There are paintings in the game. They are as different in size, image, and meaning as possible. Some contain images of round human skulls, while in Minecraft all skulls are square. Others contain images of residents. This is a painting called Modesty, and the question is asked who depicts landscapes, flowers and pots, food, skulls, spiders, and so on in all the paintings. We know that Minecraft is not that simple, and there is a whole story behind any images on the shards in the ruins. A separate civilization that lived here and died out before our character arrived. But we have never considered paintings as separate objects in history. It's time to shed some light on all these images in the paintings. Sit back, Makis is with you, and we're getting started Minecraft theory. The paintings that we will consider today are mostly painted by a real artist, Kristoffer Zetterstrand. This is a Swedish artist who is not part of the development team, but draws a lot specifically for Minecraft. Initially, his work they are not drawn by pixels. You can see an example of the original on the screen. Only then he transfers them to Minecraft, adapting them to the style of the game. Another artist is Sarah Bovin. Her special feature is that she immediately draws in pixels, and is the author of such purely Minecraft paintings, where it's purely a game, and no more abstract skulls and figurines. She draws something like the inhabitants or the landscape of an old Minecraft. The artist is Jepp himself, though just a little bit, and only for one painting. This is an image of a desiccant. Before the paintings were updated, this was the only drawing, which was not drawn by Kristoffer Zetterstrand. We've dealt with the real artists. Now we have a much more difficult task ahead of us than just Googling. We need to understand who is the creator of the paintings in the Minecraft world from the point of view of lore. For example, we know that the update 1.21, the Mojangs were made. And for example, personally, Jepp sat and created a mace. But from the point of view of lore Minecraft, we know that the mace was created by robbers. It is a characteristic weapon of looters. It is from this point of view that we will try to consider all the paintings. And at first glance, it may seem that we can even tell who drew some of the drawings. The image of the inhabitants was created by the inhabitants. They drew themselves, imprinting themselves on memory. And a picture of a desiccant could be drawn by piglins, because skeletons dry them up, sworn enemies. According to this logic, the creeper drew a picture of the creeper, and something doesn't add up here. Let's start looking for the real author of all these paintings. As a matter of fact, you will not find paintings anywhere. In the vast world of Minecraft, you can find painted flags, painted pots, painted blocks, but there are no paintings anywhere in any building. Also remember the logic of creating paintings. Steve puts a piece of wool of any color in the workbench, the wool is lined with sticks, and gets a picture that is essentially any kind. Our player does not create one specific picture, he creates a universal painting that stretches to any size and gets any image. This makes it much more difficult to find the creator of the paintings. Some of the paintings were intentionally altered. In the original painting called The Stage is Set, we see a small spider. At that moment, as in Minecraft, we see in the picture already a large spider with red eyes characteristic of Minecraft, as if Steve paints his feelings in a picture. Other paintings contain landscapes, images of the sea with rocks, for example, sunset images, and other paintings that contain nature that could see Steve walking around the world. But at the same time, however, there are also inexplicable Kong-type paintings. What is a real-life game in general, and Steve couldn't possibly see it inside Minecraft? Let's take another look at the world of Minecraft. We haven't seen a picture anywhere in the dungeons and other buildings. But can we find them at least just in the form of objects? Yes, we can. Paintings can be sold to us by a villager of the shepherd's profession, but we get from him, again, just a painting that does not have a specific image or size. You can put this on the wall and get a picture in one block or as many as 4 on 4. The image will also be different. It is worth saying that the paintings immediately with the finished images are in the creative, but they were added by the developers for technical simplification. In classical ENT survival, we can't make such pictures, so we don't take ready-made images into account in this theory. The main inexplicable skill of paintings is to stretch to any size and produce a random image. At the same time, if we see one picture and we don't like it, do we immediately redraw it or something? Is there any logic in this? If we look at that as Steve crafts a frame, he puts leather in the middle, which really stretches into a monophonic leather as the background on which the object is placed. But why, when we use plain wool, do we get a huge range of colors? Shouldn't the wool that we put in the middle be just plain wool on the wall in a frame? My theory is that in Minecraft, there are no pictures of a desiccant. There are no drawings of an owl in a box because in Minecraft there are at least no owls. There are no images of skeletons with rounded the skull. For living inside a cubic world, neither Steve nor the residents who sell us these paintings would be able to see something that doesn't exist. These non-existent maps include maps from the CS:GO game. There are several of them in Minecraft, and certainly not the residents and the player drew them. Then what is the picture in Minecraft? I think that when Steve puts a painting on the wall, it's like there was and still is a monochrome canvas made of wool, and the images he sees don't exist. This explains why the image can change in a second. Our character does not want to see exactly this, changes the picture and sees another image. And then you will find out why our character sees this particular set of paintings and whether everything is okay with his head. Steve says that when he looks at a blank canvas, he sees different paintings. There is a painting called Smina. In the original, a man stands on it on a plain, and his background changes from steppe trees by cold, rocky mountains. If Steve puts up a canvas and sees this painting, then where does it come from in his head? I think that such paintings are related to Minecraft. Namely, the painting Smina can demonstrate a sharp transition between biomes. This is true in Minecraft, and maybe that's how Steve remembers the biomes. The picture of the final boss resembles a visor, because it is the only one the boss in Minecraft is a skeleton. The painting Nakodka refers to Archaeology Minecraft. Other paintings came to Steve just during his travels around the world. How the same picture is the discovery or the appearance of the inhabitants in the painting Modesty. Traveling, for example, Steve could find a magician, and it also left a trace in his memory. Steve knows these images from somewhere, he's seen them before. And considering that he is an adult man dressed in clothes but for some reason completely does not remember where his house is and how he ended up in the world of Minecraft, we can conclude that he lived in the world of Minecraft and before us. Or rather, before we started playing. The only thing that doesn't let me go is the thought of those paintings depicting real other people. The image of the wanderer, the image of a man on a horse, an image of a woman by a pond, an image of people in a backyard. And if Steve could ride a horse and remember himself from the outside, then he hardly remembered himself as a woman sitting by a pond next to a skeleton. And at this moment, you might think that the game character in Minecraft has gone crazy, and the paintings can be explained at all by Lorna. But actually, the world of Minecraft is one big dream. This is a dream that has its own ENT, but a dream in which a piece of the real world makes its way. Such pieces are those paintings that we can see it only in real life. The poem of the Edge is also such a piece, as if it were a conversation between two people next to our sleeping Steve. Whole. The world of Minecraft is one big dream. That was the end of the theory. Rate it with likes and subscribe to the channel. After all, there are a lot of interesting things about Minecraft. Well, also write your thoughts about the paintings in the comments. It will be interesting for me to read your versions, but I say goodbye. Makis was with you. Good luck to everyone. Bye-bye, everyone.